Hello and welcome back to Captain of Industry. So things are looking good here with these rather, I don't like them, nasty looking greenhouses, but we have greenhouses for all of our food crops. We don't have it for the saplings. Not sure we really need it for the saplings. That's probably fine. How are we doing with saplings? We have got oodles of saplings. So there's something I want to do here. I'm going to pause the game very quickly. Not forestry, you need to go to the forestry tower, which we put down there. Edit designation. I was thinking about this. We've got our iron mine here, so we probably don't want trees being planted anywhere like here. We're going to want to keep space here for an ore sorter. We might as well not do that corner either, or that bit, because I can see some iron over there. But yeah, there's no point in planting trees where we're going to be digging up, is there? So let's get rid of everything that goes over that. Get rid of a couple of those. And that one, that should be fine. As we've taken away a bit of space from the trees, we could probably afford to give them a little bit more. So let's give them a little bit more. Let's go down to that little nubbin that sticks out there that we'll probably be getting rid of at some point with one of our... what do they call them? Special projects team? Something like that. And then we have to edit the area. Oh, it was already up. So let's edit the area and just bring this down even further. That's fine. And they shouldn't be planting there, but just to sort of make sure, let's just do something like that. Just in case it got cached somehow and went crazy. But yeah, we need to leave space there for iron mining and processing. We'll probably have its own ore sorter, and then we'll get stuff down here some way. Some way we have not yet decided on. So that's that. Let's unpause the game. Let's build another tree planter, sorry. Why not, right? We've got saplings, loads of saplings there. We've got loads of saplings there. If we've got saplings storing up, let's get another harvester going. So we did the greenhouses last time. What else did we do? We fiddled around with some piping around the hydrogen and maybe the water a little bit. I can't quite remember. And yeah, stuff like that. Our ship, I think we just researched something for the ship. We've got ship armor 2. We also have the CO2 recycling to be looked at. We also have the electrolyzer 2, which may or may not be necessary. We could upgrade one of these and pause one of these, because the electrolyzer 2, if we pop this one down, what are you doing? Brine to chlorine. So if we did brine to chlorine, you do 72 to 48 rather than 8. Oh, that's a massive jump. It's a 4 times jump. So actually, we don't need you yet. We don't need you yet. You're just making too much chlorine, and that'll be a problem for us. Where else do we use electrolyzers? We've got one there, and we'll have some down here. We do have 3 here, so it might be worth upgrading one of these, which will give us more chlorine over here. We don't necessarily need, but it might be more efficient. 3 workers, maintenance 2, 1.10. 3 workers each. So it'd use a bit more power. It would save us a few workers, and it'd use a different sort of maintenance. Maybe we leave that till we have to scale up as well. I don't think there's a lot of point in doing that either. Okay, so I think food is going to be the priority today. We also have the CO2 recycling, which could be useful. Where is this? Ship designer, we have new armor plating. Let's get that, push us up to that. And we have new armor plating there, which, yeah, sure. Takes 400 steel. We've got 400 steel. Perfect. Let's get that going. And when the ship comes back, we can load up the new settlement bits. Power is looking hunky-dory. Oil is looking a hunky-dory. We are still only getting essentially 120 a minute from that. We could look at unpausing the other one to scale up our production of oil to give us more hydrogen and fuel gas, which would just give us more things to burn in the boiler and also give us some excess fuel gas for also burning in the boiler. I don't know if it's worth thinking about changing some of the vehicles over to hydrogen. Pollution, let's get rid of the ship pollution. Yeah, I mean, vehicle and air pollution are all relatively the same at the moment, aren't they? So if we could knock some of that out, that would be great. Our air pollution, I think, just comes from down here, doesn't it? What do? You do exhaust stuff. Where's your chimney? Oh, yeah, it's under these pipes. So, yeah. We've got a little bit of pollution coming off of these, and we have a little bit coming off this. Well, I say it's actually 72. It's quite a lot of pollution. So we could think about piping that in at some point. Am I in a massive rush for that? I don't think so. They've almost finished expanding this little bit of land over here, which is amazing. What do we do after then is a very good question, me. Very good question. Do we bring this down here? Do we start bridging over to this island to give us a potential shortcut to this island at some point? Or that part of the island, I should say. Or do we start doing something else? We've got a bridge up there, so the only other place we could bridge is over here, which is going to be horrible. Because that's really high. And then it goes into a mountain range. And there isn't a nice way over to that one necessarily either. Oh yeah, that's going to be a horrible bridge to do. But over there, the only thing of real importance, I mean, we've got coal out the wazoo, iron out the wazoo, but we've also got uranium, and we don't have a uranium mine yet, I don't think. So if we did want to consider swapping over to nuclear power at some point, which terrifies me, we simply can't. We just cannot. Oh, my ship is, I'm sure it is marked to be told to return home. I'm going to check that once it comes back. But I'm sure it is, or at least it was. Is or was, one of those two. Where are our tree? The tree harvesters are up there, and they are destroying things madly. We've probably got our other tree harvester, do we? We do, so let's go to the forestry control tower. Assign him there. Wonderful. So that gives us two tree planters, I should say, going off and planting over there. I should probably get rid of like a little bit more around there in case we want more pumps down, but we currently have enough pumps to do 200 water a minute, so I'm not overly concerned, and everything is keeping up. Yeah, it's pretty full, so it's all good. It's all good. Right, completely distracted. Had someone messaging me about work during my lunch break on a work day. Preposterous. What do they think I do with my lunches other than play games? So I'm completely lost as to what I was doing. We did forestry stuff. We've got another tree planter. You're busy going. The other one should be up there somewhere. We have a low supply of water. That's got to be that one. You've got a big old pipe of water coming in here. So hold on. Why are you not... Oh, because you're transferring water. Which is coming from here. No. Which is coming from... this one, I'm guessing? No. Where is this water coming from? Oh, this comes from... the desalinators. Or electrolyzers? No, it's the desalinator, isn't it? Yeah. So that's where that's coming from. But why isn't this pumping any water in if it thinks it's low on water? Because that goes into this balancer, which prioritizes this input. This input is full because... Wait, what? That's not an input, that's an output. Oh, this one inputs from the tank, right? So the tank outputs into this. This sends the water out to wherever water needs to be. It also... Where does this one go? Oh, down to the boilers. It also outputs water to this one, which outputs water to here in a loop, and also outputs water to... Hold on a second. This one has two outputs. Why for do you have two outputs? That is confusing to me. So this has input from the tank, and then it outputs to the tank, and it outputs to the tank. I think one of these was the outputting back up their pipe at some point. I don't think we need this one. So let's just break that there. Let that water filter through. And do that. Okay. So now the tank is outputting to itself. If it outputs enough to the other sources, then it will take input from here. Otherwise, the other main input goes directly into the tank. That's correct. Should that be going? Should this input pipe be going into that balancer? Which is going to confuse things, because then we would want that prioritized over that. I'm just going to leave it as it is for now. I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'm sure it's fine. Okay. Okay. Right. More work stuff. I'm going to come back in a bit, and I'm going to be completely confused as to where I am and talk about all of this again. You're welcome. Okay, I had another meeting come in. So I'm now technically outside of my lunch break, but I spent my entire lunch break in calls and doing messages. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm still in my lunch break. So I'm just going to very quickly do a couple of these. Is it this one? I think it is, isn't it? So let's get that all covered, and that covered, and that covered, and that, and that, and that, and you might as well just do all of that. Why won't you do that? Because there's a tiny little hill there. Special team. Special team. In fact, yeah, not do that, because you'll start doing a lot of other stuff. Do this. Didn't know that was there. Mining. Flat. Do that, please. Might have to just change the tower slightly so it covers that last little square. There we go. Okay, let's get rid of that, because that's going to annoy the bejesus out of me otherwise. And you found you'd pretty much finished over there, hadn't you? You did a sterling job, my friend. Sterling job. What I'll do with you then, I don't know. So what are we going to do today? We're going to do food? I think we're going to look at food, aren't we? I did start, whilst I was in my call, just having a very quick plan out of what I need. So 4 storages for each, just so we got a size for a big storage if we should want it. I might just put big storages in straight away. A balancer before each, so rather than going after like this one does after the storage, let's do it before the storage. And then this is the bread setup, so this will go into making bread, and then vegetables and potatoes go straight in. So we've done that bit. So what do we need then? We need the waste part, don't we? Which is a 2-part thing, because the excess corn gets turned into animal feed somewhere here. So the excess corn gets turned into animal feed, and we probably want to plan for a couple of those. The animal feed then gets turned into compost. So let's have a couple of these as well. In fact, we probably want to plan for like 4, do we? Oh, I don't know. We might want to. We might want to. So let's move that down. And let's think about what the best way... Would it just be like that? We'd want to swap that around, actually, because we don't want... Nope, cut. We want it that way, I think, wouldn't we? Oh no, because the inputs are at the top. Okay. No, I think that's what we'd want then. And then the same with this. We would want to plan for 4 of these. So we'll do that. We probably, because it only outputs compost, so we could have those right next to each other as long as the compost is facing each other, which it is. These only output animal feed, so same thing. We can do that. In fact, we may want to just upgrade that to a bigger mixer, because that's mixer version 1, and there's definitely a mixer version 2, which is under food, mixer 2, so let's pop one of those in there instead, which has its stuff in different... Oh no, it's just because it's like that, isn't it? Same down there, actually. So that one would be corn to animal feed. And this one would go here, and this one would be animal feed to compost. So let's do it like that, and then we can leave the space in there. We won't upgrade those yet, but they are there to be upgraded should they need it. That can't be upgraded, and that can't be upgraded, so that's fine. So they output the animal feed, they output just compost. Compost then goes into one of these, but the compost we will probably just pipe into or belt down here. I don't see a reason for having it, so I might just put all this stuff like down here and then just belt all the food down. Then it can just connect directly to that fuel gas storage as well, rather than having a separate one up there. And then we need the potato and vegetable. Is it worth just deleting this? Well, I don't think we're going to need it in the short term, are we? We can always build it again. I think I'm just going to delete all this. So this, the anaerobic digester, I don't think there is a third... Where is the anaerobic digester? Where would you be? There. Yeah, there's no upgrade to it at the moment, so that's fine. So we would want 4 of these. These output 2 things. Nope, not copy. So we might want to leave an extra space for that. And so that one's for the potatoes. We'd want another set for vegetables, and so we could just, in fact, let's just copy that. Which would do, well, no, we did do vegetables. Let's do potatoes, and then copy that to all of those. And that's all we would need at the moment, isn't it? I think it's all very confusing. We also have wheat go into. So we have some wheat go into fuel gas and compost, and some wheat go into animal feed. Okay, in that case, let's not worry about the animal feed yet. We can swap that over at another time. Let's leave it for when we do need it. But that means we're going to need another set of these to do wheat. Let's focus on getting the fuel gas in. And a little bit of compost rather than purely compost. I think that would be sensible. Okay. So at some point we're going to have to bite the bullet and start moving and deleting all of this. Which is going to be fun because all the farms are going to back up, but it shouldn't matter too much, I guess. So I'm thinking we have this bit all up here, and then this bit all down here. I didn't mean to copy that one, to cut that. Let's get rid of that pipe and that pipe and that pipe and that pipe, so we don't need any of that. May as well get rid of those as well. We will rebuild them at a later date should we need them, but that cleans up the space a little wee bit. A little wee bit. We're about to get mega vehicles, which is exciting. They have finished flattening that, which is wonderful. So let's do that. And then you can then go back to doing... Could have just made a new rectangle, would have been easier. Go back to doing that bit. That's fine. Off you go. Wonderful. Good stuff. The ship is back and it has been upgraded. We could load up for this one. Let's load up for that one whilst it's there. And in terms of research, yeah, we can't do the ship engine because that requires the next tier of research lab. So that's everything we can do with that at the moment. So we've got that on the go, but then we're not doing anything after that. What do offices do? Well, they use office supplies to use excess people to generate focus points, which can be spent on bonuses. Could be useful. I don't know if we're there yet, but it could be useful. Let's get... Let's get the recycling edict done, just in case we want to do that. Let's get greenhouse 2, more edicts, which are maintenance and research efficiency, sugarcane. Don't really need the vehicle management, don't really need the sausages, but let's get it done. And then we'll do nuclear, housing 4, vacuum desalination. We'll not worry about those quite yet. So let's do solar panels, household appliances, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Anything else missed? We haven't done trains yet, so let's get trains planned in as well. I think that's everything, isn't it? Yes. Okay. That just gives research something to do. Keeps them busy. Keeps them busy. So you are loading. That's fine. You, I'm just going to a quick remove because I cannot be bothered to wait for you. Just go away. And then we have input to these from down here. So instead we'd have to pipe these up the top. So let's do that now whilst we're thinking about it. So I'm just going to take a pipe out of there. We're going to come to here. And go up to height 5, because that's a height 5. Turn our snap in. Bring that over to here. Oop. Over to here. Nope. And let's keep it at height. We could go underneath that at height 4, I suppose, but let's just keep a separate pipe. Stupid pipe setup we have. Stupid pipe setup we have. Is that height 5 there now, is it? Okay. Do we want to just go straight into there? I guess so. Do we not want it going up here? Why are we piping it straight into there? That's a very good question. So maybe we would want to say you only output to pipes if you're above 180. And let's get that built. And we've got lots of, we haven't got a lot of Unity. We're having another flu pandemic, so we need to worry about that at some point. We need to flatten this little corner out now that they've got everything around it. It's looking great. It's looking very rocky, but I'm not going to build farms down there. It'd be nice for aesthetics if it didn't look like that, but hey-ho, we can survive. And then we're going to want to think about other stuff we're going to want here. So if we go down to storages, unit storage does fruit as well. And we do have the option of doing fruit now, because we have the greenhouses. And I'm assuming fruit would go in as a raw resource. Yes, it would. So we potentially want to have fruit here. I suppose I could just... I didn't get the balancer. Let's get the balancer. So you would be potentially for fruit. Let's move this all over a little bit. We would also want tofu goes into those storages, but that's a production chain, so we wouldn't worry about that now. Corn goes into loose storage. So if we copy all of those, so you would be for corn. Copy those onto those. And then if we did tofu, that goes into soybeans, which I'm assuming is also loose storage. So if we copy potatoes, put potatoes over there, make this soybeans, copy that over those. Soybeans get turned into tofu in a food processor, which is one of these. Now that's a mill. That's a bacon unit. It's a new building again. Food processor. Which would be here. So we'd want this one doing the tofu, potentially, which generates animal feed. Wait, do any of these generate animal feed? Oh, they do. Oh, okay. So we are going to need to have the animal feed processing mixer going. Oh, hello. Calm down, game. Just because this generates animal feed along with the flour. Nothing else there, but then this would also generate it from the soybeans. That would need limestone and sulfur as well. That's going to be a pain. Okay. I'm not planning on doing that anytime soon. I think we'll probably focus on doing corn and fruit first, just because they are simpler. And where do they output? Fruit is on vegetables, corn is on this one, so that works out nicely. We have already finished flattening that area. So where do we send them next is the question. Do we start flattening this? We've already got a team on that. Do we start flattening that? I think we'll probably move this team down to do this bit. So let's send them up here to flatten this. So I'm going to edit your area. I want a new rectangle. You are going to do, let's just say this. I want a mining designation here, flat, saying just do as much of that as you can. Might as well bring it out to there and out to there. Perfect. Okay. And then we have to think about how we're going to get all of this actually fitting up here. Because we've got all of our current food types. I think we'd probably want to move these over here. And have all this, I'd say up there. Have it starting like there, maybe. Yeah, then have the food markets up there, I think. I think that's what we would do. Okay. So down here, we haven't planned for the excess soybeans, have we? Or excess fruit. So your potatoes, excess soybeans. And excess fruit that we can't quite fit in, so let's just do that for now. And excess fruit. Is it that one I did? Which one did I do? That one. So in terms of animal feed, it could only be wheat, corn, or soybeans. Okay. So it'd be something like that. And then we'd need to belt that all up. We'll start with a... It's not flat though, is it? It's a U. It's a U. We'll start with a Mark 1. It's not going to work. We're going to need extra space in between them all. Let's do that so they're all aligned nicely. Let's just do the same with these whilst we're here. So we want that to come to there, which is going to come all the way down to here. And you're going to connect to there, you to there, you to there, you to there, you to there. And the same thing down here. Something like that. And then we want the fuel gas coming out as well. Should have left that flat one more so it was nice and tidy, but hey ho. I probably should have just done one and then copied it. But I don't actually want Mark II pipes because I don't think we're going to need them. So let's get rid of all that. In fact, it was a Mark III pipe. Definitely don't need a Mark III pipe. Why are you not connecting? There we go. So we'll get all of these done. Something like that, and then we'll just copy it like that, pop that over the top. Didn't quite copy enough, that's all right. And that one, for some reason, didn't fit, although the rest of them did. That's because there's a space between those ones. Oh, I'm going to want that space there, aren't I? Okay. So it looks something like that, which is fine. And then we would have to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 belts coming in. It's a lot of belts. There's a lot of belts. They are all set to... Yeah, so now we have... What does this set to? Fruit. How did this go so wrong? How did this go so wrong? We have vegetables. 4 vegetables, 4 corn, 4 fruit, 4 potatoes, 4 soybeans. Right, okay. So if we start with the fruit, I don't care if you block that pork because I don't think I'm going to do anything with it. So let's bring you to here and you to here. And you to here, and you to here. And then you to there. And you to there. And then you like that. And if we copy all of those, Flip it and rotate it. That should fit nicely there. We blocked off a few, but that's okay. We don't really care too much. And then we would have soybeans, which would have to come out to there. And then go up to height 4. And then potatoes. Ah. And then potatoes, which we'd want to come up to height 5. Please don't try and snap. Like that. Okay, so that's all good. We have 5 belts of food ready to come in. We just need to get 5 belts to connect to them all at some point. That's all hunky-dory. You, I don't want you there anymore. You, I now feel, are in the way. So I'm going to go and put you over... Collision with pillars, collision with pillars. You'll go there. You won't go anywhere there. Let's put you there then. Can we just unity you? So you're done. And once that's done, let's delete that and unity that. Excellent. Okay, so that's that all done. Then we just have to figure out this slightly more nightmarish bit up here. We're going to need at least 2 of those. Thinking about the fact that we can only really have 1 belt input at a time. So we're going to have to think about that and how that's all going to work. Because we've got 2 U-shapes, we've got 3 U-shapes and 2 flats. So we potentially need that one, but I don't think we're going to need it yet, so I'm not going to worry about it. And then really we need to delete all this and start just doing this, don't we? I think that's what we need to do. So I'm going to build some temporary storage for the existing bread, potatoes, and other things, vegetables. That's what I'm thinking of. Got a building about to collapse due to loose terrain. Ooh, okay, I didn't realize you were going quite as close as that. We must have had some form of slip. Okay, I guess for now, just delete them. Oh yeah, it slipped quite a lot, didn't it? So let's get rid of that for the minute. Because you should be prioritizing iron anyway, so I don't know why you're digging up dirt. How's it all looking over here? Oh, we're full of iron. Oh, we're fine. We're fine. Full of everything. Everything's looking good. Like that. Like that a lot. Yeah, so we'll worry about that another point. That's been sorted. Fluid has a low supply of water, which I don't think it should be sending out more than a pipe 2's worth at a time. I think it should be fine. I think it should be fine. And nothing's backing up or having any issues. So I think we're fine. Truck is struggling to find a destination it can reach. Where are you trying to go? Ah, you can't get to those. Yes. Good point. Quick remove. And quick remove. Nah. Pause. Did I not tell you to delete? So why would you possibly fill up with other stuff? Very frustrating. So let's wait for this one to empty, which it isn't going to quite do, and then we'll quick remove again, which is a wonderful... Why are you... It does go this way, so I don't understand why you are constantly filling up. Is it stuff that's like in a buffer? Okay, you've gone. Which means you should now go. Okay, that's that done. Where are you trying to get to now? I think you're all trying to get to those storages, but it doesn't matter anymore. So we want to build some temporary storage for these. We want this one to be, what should all potatoes and vegetables, and are they both potatoes and vegetables? Yeah, so that's no good. We want you to be bread and you to be bread, sure. And then we want you, in fact I want bigger storages in case we have more coming in. Bigger storages. We want not a huge. So we'll do one of these for vegetables, one of these for potatoes, and then another one of these for bread. So vegetables, potatoes, and bread. Bread. There we go. Trucks are still struggling to find a destination they can reach. What are you trying to reach now? And you can't reach it because I blocked it all off with that. But I don't know why you would be going there. Why would you be going to collect bread? Because you're trying to take it over here. I see. Don't do that. Trucks should have no need to import or export from these buildings, so that's fine. So let's unpause those so they're built and ready to go. Let's make sure these are all told that trucks cannot import or export, because why would you be? What are you doing? Why do you have a bunch of potatoes? Unbelievable. Not enough fuel for a vehicle. I mean, there definitely is. There definitely is. You're simply lying to me. Where are you trying to reach now? I mean, literally anywhere, but you've got yourself stuck. That's fine. We can solve that quite quickly. And then we will put vegetables into here, potatoes into... Nope, didn't like that. No, it should like that. Potatoes into there. Yeah. That's because it's trying to build the same belt I just built. I see. Like that. Let's get those built. You've got yourself stuck as well, have you? Stop trying to put stuff in any of these. We might want to turn the import on, actually. And then we could plug the belts into these temporarily, but I'm not too worried about that. Okay. Where does... Oh, this is the pipe that goes down there. That shouldn't be doing anything now. Yeah. Let's delete this pipe. We never built that bit. If I can Unity those, and then we'll plug that into... Fine, go into there. Whatever. Okay. The iron control tower has nothing to mine. So you can come over here, flat, get rid of all of that. You're already told to do all that. Oh, because I see, it's because your actual tower sphere of influence is not in the right place. So let's just say there's a new rectangle and it's going to cover... all of that, please and thank you. Okay, so that's all been built now. So let's start getting rid of this stuff. So we don't want that. We don't want any of those. We don't want that. We don't want any of this. We don't want this, or this, or this, or this, or this, or this. We might just end up with a bit of wheat in storage, but that's fine. In fact, we don't want that. Yeah, just do it. I was going to try and do it like piecemeal, but I've immediately changed my mind. Let's just get rid of everything. I don't have anywhere for the wheat to go. It's just going to have to deal with that situation. And I'm going to try and save a bit of unity and let them get rid of all this, because I think I will need to quick remove those, which should go over here. Yep. Let's do the potatoes, quick remove. And let's do the wheat, quick remove. And let's do the bread, quick remove. And I'll let the trucks do the rest of it. And then we have to get all of this. When you're finished, take your time. It's fine. I'm not in any rush. I'm not in any rush, trucks. I'm just going to save my unity so I can build stuff. We want this. Let's give it a little bit of space, I guess. Let's pop it in here. Do we just want big storages for all of those straight away? I feel like we may as well. So let's do that. Big storage, wheat. Just this one. Nope, you are going to be wheat. And then soybeans. And then vegetables and fruits. Which way round are these? The wrong way round. Nope. Vegetables. Vegetables. And fruit. Now, it would obviously sort out all of this stuff as it starts getting input into it. And then corn and potatoes. But I'm just trying to do it whilst I'm planning it, so I know I can see at a glance what's going on. Did I say vegetables? Not vegetables. Corn. Corn and potatoes. Perfect. So that's what we want there. Where are you trying to reach? Oh, you've all got yourselves stuck. Let's waste a bit more unity because of silliness. So that would be all of that. Let's get the vegetables, I think that was potatoes, wasn't it? And then the wheat is this one. So let's get those built. So those are the things we actually have. We don't have corn, we don't have apples, we don't have soybeans. That's fine. And then we will want a U-shaped Mark II into there, and into there, and into there, and into there. We want a full... Oh, because it's the wrong sort of balances. For a brief moment, I forgot that balancers weren't clever. That's a tier 1. Flat tier 2. And then let's get that built, and that built, and that built. Okay, so they are now ready to have stuff brought into them. So potatoes is here. It doesn't fit nicely. That is very frustrating to me. I can only get it around there. What if I take it from further back? Yes. So let's do that. Let's get that built. That should probably be a tier 2 as well, but we'll come to that later. You are going the right way. You are going to be going the wrong way. So let's flip you. The rest of it should be fine. Vegetables. Fits nicely. But flip that belt. And unpause that. And flip that belt. And the rest of it should be fine. Unpause that. Had another recording software crash. Always nice. In its defense, I got rid of the belts all the way back to there. We don't do wheat over there, so that's fine. Don't know if we're going to want sort of truck access up these either. Oh, the wheat's already been delivered there. We've got loads of wheat. Okay, that's great. Potatoes coming in. We've got vegetables coming in. Okay. So these are all empty because we are out of food. That's fine. We can delete all of... Careful, because that was selecting stuff behind it as well. Let's delete all of that. And that, please. Thank you. And then we want one output from potato. No. We want an output from here. No. Did I want that there? Or did I want this to the side? I feel like I did want this on the other side. So I do want to have that buffer there for potato storage. Yeah, I don't want this getting siphoned off before the storage. I did that with the wheat before because it made more sense for something, for the excess wheat. But yeah, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. And then let's get rid of that belt and that belt and that belt because we can do those better now. Okay, and then unpause that, and then we want a belt coming out here. Let's say we might want another one of these at some point, or maybe another two. So let's bring this to here. Let's bring it, where does it have to go? Over there. So let's bring it to here. Over here and into here. Nope, it's just a different type of belt there. So we want that. We want a flat balancer there, connected up there. Connected up there. Unpause that, unpause that. This, can that go over at a height 1? Yes, it can. Bring that to there, and then plug that into there. Excellent. Unpause that. You've got yourself stuck. Off you go. Food is getting low. Let's unity that. Let's unity that and that. And then we need to build the pipes in, or the belts in, I should say. So we want to come from here up to here, and then flip that belt, and then unity that one. And then this one, we want to come from here too close to another flat connector. Fine, do that. Unity that, which means all the belts should be facing the right way. And then over here, can we get that a little bit closer? That's fine. Just so there is a bit of space for potential truckage. Let's get that built, which means we now have potatoes and we have vegetables going into here eventually when they get there, which is great. Let's upgrade the potato belt there to a Mark II. Let's upgrade this one to a Mark II. That's already a Mark II. Excellent. Right. So at least we have food coming back in. That's something. Then we have food production area, which is going to go, let's say, around here. That's just Unity though, so that's fine. And let's get rid of that pipe, because we don't need that one anymore. And let's get rid of that one. Obviously, some of these pipes we're going to have to rebuild at some point. But just to clear it up as we go so we know what we're doing. So we may as well have the bread here. And this would be tofu, which would be somewhere around there. So let's just leave that there. So you are the priority out. You are the priority out. And your priority out is going to be this one. Nope. It's going to be this one. And we are going to take wheat from there, pop it in there. Are we going to make it a Mark II? Don't know if we need a Mark II yet. Let's just unpause that. You are going to use wheat to make flour and animal feed. Excellent. Animal feed is just going to go over there. The flour is going to go into there. And you also need water. So this is where we come off of here, go across one, come over here, join into there. Let's unpause that. Let's unpause that. And let's unpause that. You are going to make bread, which is going to get stored in here. Excellent. The bread is then going to come from here at a height of 3 or 2 as it is, up to here, over to about here. I'm just trying to not block that other port necessarily, but I don't think... Yeah, I don't want you to do that. So what if we come over here like that? That's better. I prefer that. Ooh. Let's unpause that belt. So that will get bread in once we have it. We're going to need that pipe there. And then we're going to have animal feed coming off of there. We need to decide what was the lowest belt. What was the tier 1 belt? Tier 1 belt was this, which was fruits. We don't have any fruits. So let's come over, and we're going to have to move this pipe somewhere, I think. But let's come to... What were fruits? They were flat. Here, and say tier 1 pipe for fruits. Then we have, in fact, you know, we can just copy, let's just copy this. And then over here we have 2 flats. Like that. So that's what we're going to have. How are we going to deal with that with the bread belt in the way? That's an interesting question, me. I'm glad you asked. So let's put this... actually over the top of each other. Which still isn't right. because we've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So actually, you need to go to this height. And you need to go to 4. Like that. Could not store all the wheat after harvest. Upgrade that belt. The rest should be fine, I think. Might even want to make that a faster belt again. But for now, let's just leave it at that. What else have we got? Couldn't store the wheat. Smart move is struggling to find a destination it can reach. Because you got yourselves back down there and got stuck again. Right, let's have a quick look at this. Let's maybe just not worry about any of this for the minute. You can come back to that. Let's see how you do there. So I should get rid of a lot of those messages, hopefully. Where were we? Up here. Right, so we now have bread being made. Excellent. Do we need to double this up, perhaps? So as we'll see with the amount of bread we are storing and using in here, that'll be the thing. Right, so now finally I want you to go here, and then here, and then here, and here, and here, and here, and then this pipe here is in the way. So let's, I suppose we could just connect it all up. We could just move this all back a little bit. And say it's going to start connecting at that point. I think I'm okay with that. Let's put it back here so we've got room to expand. But it should give us enough room for another 4 should we need it. Excellent. Okay, so then this one. You want to take, yeah, okay, so be careful with this. I would like you to come and connect to this. Now, trucks are not going to be able to get past any of this. Is that going to be a concern? Don't know. Don't know. Concern for different times. Okay. Did that say that's not connected? Why didn't you? Because the magnet's off. You are going to come and connect to this one. You are going to come and connect to this one. You are going to come to here and up to here. And you're the wrong sort of port? Is that just because you're the wrong way around? Yes, you are you are the wrong way around. Okay. Still an incompatible port. What? There we go. That was wonderfully frustrating. Oh, why does it do that? I could fix it. I could fix it. Obviously, I'm not going to because I've come this far now. But I could. I could have done. Okay. That's all of that done. So fruit is on the bottom. You're going to complain there's a pillar in the way? No, you're okay. So fruit is on the bottom and we'll connect to this one. Like that. What is the next one? The next one is corn. So wheat comes out of here. It has got a priority outset, which I thought was the wrong one for some reason. So wheat is going to come out of here. It is going to come... Actually, it's going to come, yeah, from there. At a height of 2. To there, and then it's going to go down to a height of 1. And then it's going to come to here and connect into there. Now that one we need. And that's going to connect to this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And then I missed a connection there. And then that, and that, and that. That and that and that and that and that and that, and for now we're just going to want this one, so we're going to want that and that and that and all of that. Okay, third tier is vegetables. Vegetables are going to come out of here. So you need to be a height 2. But then you're going to get confused with this one. So we're going to need to pop up to height 3. And then I want you to go down to a height 2 over here. And obviously we want that one built as well. We did set a priority there, so that's fine. We want all of that done. We want that and that and that and that and that and that and that. And that and that. That and that, that and that, and that, and that, and that, and then all of that's fine. So we've got wheat, we've got vegetables. The fourth one is soybeans, which we're not exactly sure how that's going to work yet, but I guess it would still come out of the balancer, wouldn't it? I don't think I even connected you up, did I? So you would come out of there. You would come up to height 3. Then you would come over to here at height 4. you'd need to go back a bit more to height 4. And then down to height 3. Okay, height 4 to there, and then down to height 3. And then to there, and to there. You are soybeans, so I don't really care if you're built. Which should mean that height 5 is potatoes. Potatoes come out of here. So let's... what are we going to do here? So we can come up to height 3 there. Height... no, we only need height 4. Height 4 there. I think that's fine. Let's unpause. Hello. Unpause that. That is not a priority out. And then unpause that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. And that, 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 and all of that, and that. Okay. We're getting somewhere, we're getting somewhere. I have absolutely no idea, by the way, how long this video is, because when I get calls or meetings or whatever, when my daughter wakes up, whatever it is, I don't tend to stop the recording. I just leave the recording going and mute the microphone so I can see in the recording where it's blank. Obviously that means that I don't really have a good idea of how much time we've been spending doing this. Is there anything else we can do with bread? No. That's fine. I wonder if we could do something with excess bread, but if we don't need to, that's absolutely fine. We are full of vegetables. We are full of potatoes. But when I say we're full, we're not. We've got loads in there, which is amazing. It's amazing. We need to see if we fill up with bread. So if we fill up with bread, we'll double this up and start having more of those going. So then what we need is somewhere for the compost to go. So let's bring this down here under this. Stop it there a second. They output compost, which goes does go on this belt here, doesn't it? So you can just connect into there, which is, oh my word, stop. Because you have to go over a belt, so you did it in the stupidest way possible. Do you know what? It's fine. I'm just going to live with that. And then you can come across to here. Excellent. That just leaves the fuel gas, so we're going to bring that over to here, over to here. We're going to go up to our height 2, and then back down to a height 1. You're going to come up all the way along here. I'm going to stop you there for a moment. You produce fuel gas, so we can plug you into there. Like that. That worked out okay. And then we just need this one plugged into there. Unpause that. And that is everything good to go. Our new food setup is sorted. So this is why I didn't want it here, because I didn't want it outputting down there. and taking up our excess. That's why I wanted it back there. I suppose we could say like only output to the belts if you've got, let's say 500. Just so we can make sure we've got a little bit extra in stock. Just in case this starts hammering through our food and then we know we need to start keeping more. So bread-wise, it looks like we're maybe just about producing enough to keep everyone happy. Maybe. Whilst we're looking at this bit, because we never actually built that. Huh? What is going on? There we go. Let's get those done. So they're there. So we've got excess wheat. We've got, I actually need that one. So that's just unity that. Excess wheat, excess vegetables. And excess potatoes are on their way because this has filled up with potatoes now, which is excellent. Belt-wise, wheat is looking not great. Where's the actual storage of wheat? Do we not have any wheat stored? Looks like you should. No, it's not you, is it? It's other ones. It's you. Yeah, so you do have a full load of wheat in. So let's upgrade this belt to a Mark III. Let's get that out of there faster and let's unity that so it's done. Okay, so we are producing stuff, but you are producing animal feed, which is currently going nowhere. So let's connect to this. Let's bring this over here. Down to here and connect into this one, but that's not right. We need to go over here and at about this point bring you along and connect you into there. Unpause you, and you. Yeah. Oh, and you. Stupidly long belt. Bit frustrating, but can't be helped. And then you output compost. So we're going to need to give them a bit more space. Same with those, annoyingly, now that I have unpaused these. Pause, and then delete that. Oh no, because you only output animal feed, so you can just plug into that. That's actually fine. Okay, so this can come back a bit further up, I think, quite comfortably. Well, let's drop it down another one. And then unpause those bits, unpause that again. And then you only output compost, so you guys can go right next to each other. Then we need a U-shaped belt. We need a U-shaped connector to go there and there. And you go into there. And then you, hello, you. No, what is the other one? F. Oh, because that's there. That's annoying, because that belt's just there. Let's delete that section. Put that there. And put that there. Okay. That works. That works. That doesn't, because that never actually... Are you having a laugh, mate? Thank you very much. Let's unpause that. So now we are dealing with animal feed. We do not have excess wheat going down there because our excess wheat is going over here somewhere. Oh, the game's paused. I was wondering why I couldn't see anything moving. Yes, our excess wheat is going over here. So I think that puts us in a better position. We will... Oh, don't tell me. Oh, no, you guys, where are you trying to get? You can no longer get to the coal to feed coal in. That is a problem. So we're going to have to delete that, Unity that, because they do have to get into these buckets. In fact, let's delete it a bit further up. And let's delete a bit of this. And I want to get the one underneath as well. So if we come up to height 4, that should be fine. And if I wanted to connect that into here, that works a treat. Should be an incompatible type because it. So you can now come up at height 5. Connect into there. Let's Unity. Because we do already have fuel gas in this pipe trying to get out. Excellent. We are processing vegetables. We are processing wheat. We are not processing potatoes because that is definitely flipped the wrong way. Okay, we will soon be processing potatoes. We didn't have a lot of excess potatoes on the line. Probably because that's, it's only a little bit over 500, so that's absolutely fine. Okay. I think that is a good place for us to stop. That is a lot neater. We've got a bit of room for expansion, and this way, I should have put these closer to this, but I didn't for whatever reason, so that's fine. We have unified our compost and fuel gas supplies down here, so they're now going into the same storages and then being piped up elsewhere. The one thing we haven't dealt with... Where did our fertilizer come from before? Oh, from the compost. That's fine. Because we're now just going to do that all in here. So we might need to look at unpausing one of these if we get enough compost coming off of this going into that. But for now, everything's hunky-dory. These things are slow, aren't they? We'll have to keep an eye. If any of these belts just like fill up, we'll think about doing a second one. Cool. Right. I'm going to leave that there then, because like I say, I've got absolutely no idea how long this video is. It could be 40 minutes. It could be 2 hours. It's a mystery. So our food is sorted somewhat. It is definitely a lot neater. I think it makes a lot more sense. We have also planned for apples and for corn. We'll see how this all goes. It looks like we are struggling to get rid of the corn a little bit. Why is that corn not flowing at all? That farm has never got rid of its corn. At no point has that farm been able to get rid of its corn. Well, that's a mistake on my part. Oh well. Oh well. So we'll see how this all goes once we've left it for a bit, and then we'll look at maybe expanding some of these if we need to. Awesome. Right, what's next then? What's next? What have we researched? We've got some mega vehicles, the electrolyzer 2, the ship armor we've done. I guess probably the CO2 recycling is next, just so we can start getting our CO2 from that rather than from a chemical plant and using twice as much power. We'll see if we can do that and pause this section perhaps, where we're going to fit that in. I guess here. We do have all this lovely space now, of course, don't we? And they have very, very nearly filled in this corner. There's a tiny little bit left to do, filling in there, and then we can look at sorting that out. We can get a couple more food types going, and if I have to put down a couple more farms, I'm absolutely fine with that. We might as well use this space out. We'll have to get rid of all of the concrete that we've got on the way, the concrete slabs, but that's fine. Awesome stuff. We've got a team up here flattening this. They're flattening this. Power's hunky-dory. Hydrogen's full. Diesel's full. Fuel gas is meh. It's not very good. But it'll get better, I think, now that we're doing all this down here. Hopefully. We'll see. If you're enjoying Captain of Industry, please do hit the like button. That would be very much appreciated. There's that one single compost coming out. Doop, doop, doop. And yeah, these can't do... I did look, didn't I? Yeah, they can't do anything. Oh, they can do potatoes, but they can't do vegetables or, well, just potatoes, because that's the only other thing we're growing. Cool. Like, comment, subscribe, all those good things. I will see you next time in Captain of Industry. And as always, thank you very much for joining me.